Let me show you some of the most interesting places in Canada. Welcome to Travel On. Let's get to it. Niagara Falls, Ontario. Of course, I'm starting with Niagara Falls. I thought I'd hit you with the most obvious one first, then shock you with some really interesting places you may have never heard of. Millions of tons of water cascade over these falls every minute, falling 50 meters and creating clouds of spray and rainbows hovering above the gorge. It is impossible not to feel the raw power of nature as the falls rumbles loudly only yards away. And I know I said meters earlier and yards just now because Niagara Falls sits on the border between the US and Canada. I visited the falls one time in February, and although it was really cold, it was also unbelievably beautiful. The mist rising from the falls settled on everything and froze, making everything look like an amazing wonderland of glass. Trees, branches, pine cones, benches, everything looked like a life-sized glass miniature. Travelers have been coming to Niagara Falls since the 1600s, and sometime during the 1800s it became a honeymoon destination, which it still is, just not as dominant as it used to be, what with air travel to warmer destinations so widely available now. Old Quebec City, Quebec. Walking through Old Quebec City is like being transported to Europe. Narrow cobblestone streets, 17th century houses, and the majestic Chateau Frontenac. In the evenings, the city is filled with the light of lanterns, and cafes and bistros create an air of French charm. Old Quebec City is the only city in North America where the stone fortress walls have been preserved. In 1985, it was included in the UNESCO World Heritage List as a rare example of a fortified colonial city. If you're in North America and can't make it to Europe for your holiday, Old Quebec City is a great alternative. And remember, the comment section is open. I'd love to hear where you would like to visit or see featured in a future video. Jasper National Park, Alberta. Jasper is the heart of wild Canada, the kind of place where you can see mountains reflected in crystal clear lakes and glaciers running down the mountain slopes. It is unreal how crystal clear the air is here, and so silent your voice carries forever. It is so pristine and untouched as if time has stood still. Jasper's main pride is the Columbia Ice Field, one of the largest ice fields in the world. More than 300 square kilometers, it is from here that three great rivers of North America originate: the Athabasca, the Columbia, and the Saskatchewan. What's more amazing is the water flowing from the Columbia Ice Field can reach three different oceans: the Atlantic, the Pacific, and the Arctic. Jasper is officially recognized as the largest dark sky territory on the planet. Thanks to the absence of city lights, you can see thousands of stars and even the Milky Way in all its brilliance. So it's no surprise that an astronomy festival is held here every year, attracting space enthusiasts from all over the world. Vancouver, British Columbia. Vancouver is one of those cities where the ocean meets the mountains, and skyscrapers sit oddly with a backdrop of forests. During the day, you can go skiing in the mountains, and in the evening have dinner along the ocean shore. It's funny how all this grew from a small settlement next to a sawmill in the mid-1800s. Today, Vancouver exhibits what they call a multicultural spirit, where they embrace the modern luxuries of urbanism but also respect the traditions of Indigenous peoples. Vancouver has repeatedly been recognized as one of the most livable cities in the world. It is home to Stanley Park, the largest urban park in North America, which is even bigger than New York City's Central Park. The waterfront alone in Stanley Park runs for 9 kilometers and offers great views of the ocean and mountains. Banff, and Lake Louise, Alberta. Snow-capped Rocky Mountains, the emerald waters of Lake Louise, and endless forests. Banff looks like a painting created by nature. In summer, the meadows thrive with a carpet of flowers, and in winter, the snow transforms everything into a frozen world of wonder. The town of Banff originated in late 19th century after the discovery of hot springs, and today it is the heart of Canada's first national park. Lake Louise, named after Princess Louise, daughter of Queen Victoria, has become its symbol. Its unique turquoise color comes from tiny particles of glaciers reflecting light. Banff National Park was founded in 1885, making it the oldest park in Canada and one of the oldest in the world. Montreal, Quebec. Montreal has a very French charm. Its old center with narrow streets and the Gothic Notre Dame Cathedral seems to transport you to Paris, while just a few blocks away is a modern city with skyscrapers and those trendy neighborhoods people like to explore where French and English are spoken everywhere. Notre Dame Cathedral is the heart of Old Montreal, an impressive structure in the neo-Gothic style that is just as amazing on the inside as it is outside. Its vaults are adorned with stained glass and wood carvings, and the blue ceiling, studded with golden stars, creates a sense of celestial space. The cathedral was built in 1824 for the rapidly growing Catholic community of the city. Today, Notre Dame is not only a religious center, but also a cultural space where concerts and light shows are held. Under Montreal is the world's largest underground city, a network of tunnels stretching over 32 kilometers. In winter, this is a lifesaver for residents as the temperatures in Quebec can drop to negative 30 degrees Celsius or negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Nova Scotia. If you're looking for a more laid-back, old maritime-y feel, Nova Scotia is a wonderful start. Small towns sit along the coast, and fishing boats are a part of daily life, not just a scene for a postcard. People often talk about the weather, the tides, and what's coming in from the water. We had long drives where the view changed from forest to rocky shore in a matter of minutes. Seafood is common, of course, and prepared simply, especially lobster, scallops, and chowder. Oh, how I miss that chowder. The pace feels slower, and conversations tend to last longer than expected, so be nice and let people have their say. There's a strong sense of history here, from Acadian roots to Scottish influences, and it shows up in music, place names, and local stories. It's a place that feels lived in and steady, rather than flashy, even in the towns. Toronto and the CN Tower, Ontario. Toronto is basically the heart of modern Canada. It's got skyscrapers and one of those iconic lights being reflected in the water views. The symbol of Toronto is the CN Tower, one of the 7 wonders of modern engineering. The tower is 553 meters high, and for 30 years it remained the tallest freestanding structure in the world. Today, it features an observation deck with a transparent floor, and for the bravest, the Edge Walk attraction, where you can walk along the outer edge of the tower at a height of 356 meters. Whistler, British Columbia. If you love winter sports or get an adrenaline rush off the side of a mountain, Whistler is your kind of place. Though it is one of the largest ski resorts in North America, its landscapes are beautiful any time of the year. The town gained worldwide fame during the 2010 Winter Olympic Games. It boasts famous ski and snowboard slopes, and the peak-to-peak gondola connects Whistler and Blackcomb Mountains, offering unparalleled views of valleys and glaciers. This gondola set a world record. It spans a 3-kilometer free span without supports. That's just under 2 miles. It's an engineering marvel and one of the most popular spots for photographers. Ottawa, Ontario. Ottawa was chosen as Canada's capital by Queen Victoria herself, who was looking for a location equally distant from English-speaking Toronto and French-speaking Montreal. In summer, concerts are held on the lawns of Parliament Hill, and in winter, everything is covered with snow, turning the capital into a Christmas postcard. Various museums can keep you occupied if the weather turns bad, or you can explore the Rideau Canal, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In winter, the canal turns into the longest ice skating rink in the world, almost 8 kilometers long, or almost 5 miles. St. John's, Newfoundland. St. John's is the easternmost city in North America and one of the oldest in Canada. Its distinctive appearance is created by brightly colored wooden houses known as Jelly Bean Row. They're scattered through the hills, descending to the Atlantic Ocean, creating rustic photo opportunities. Cape Spear, the easternmost point of the continent, is where the rays of daylight are first felt. The city's maritime history is everywhere, from fishing docks to museums telling the stories of sailors and whalers. And it was here in St. John's in 1901 that Marconi first received a radio signal transmitted across the Atlantic Ocean, which revolutionized global communication. And that's it. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, take a second to like and subscribe. It really helps a small channel like mine reach a larger audience. I hope to see you in the next one, and until then, stay safe and travel on.